Welcome one and all to another amazing night here in Tranquility.
We absolutely are in for a treat of a match here tonight, no question about it.
And the grenades from Pomku eliminating everybody on the field.
Now between something as well is going to be applied as a death block them, and it's going to be huge. Fighting three.
The double kill with the Bastion ulti? Alright, I see you guys.
For B-Well, look to find a stick there, finds the stick, they find two with it!
Those who find the picks will save the fights, and they don't really need to save what they've already won.
And Cam with the four-man punch off the map!
Experience tranquility.
All right, welcome back everyone to Tranquility here. My name is Dexatron. I am joined tonight by MisterYeti. Season 11, 1 week away from starting, but we have some business to take care of tonight and this week with some preseason grand finals. Yeti, I mean, this is a great week to start off everything here for Tranquility.
It is, and it's an exciting week indeed. We got 4 great matches coming up here to determine your preseason champion. Should be a fantastic week of matchups here. We're going to kick it off tonight in the Harmony tier with a fantastic matchup. This is the Season 10 champion in the Harmony tier, Galactic Penguins. They'll be taking on a newcomer this season, Shibuya Syndicates. So it's an exciting one indeed, Dex. We're really not sure what to expect. We haven't seen these teams yet, and they're completely new rosters.
Yeah, that was one thing. That's 10 seeds turned 7 seeds, turned into champions at the end of Season 10 there of GP. I mean, a lot of great names on that team, but like you said already, really no one coming back from them. Actually, no one from that team. Everyone is going up from that team, so congrats to them. So it's going to be really interesting to see how GP kind of performs this season, but hey, they're at this point right now, so my feeling is they're not really missing a beat.
No, absolutely. It seems like it's a completely new roster, but it seems like GP has still got that winning formula. Obviously, you have the coach Neptune returning from last season, did a fantastic job with that squad last season, taking them to the championship. And now again, we have GP looking good once again, completely new roster, top to bottom. Some familiar names that you will recognize in this contest, no question about that. But that goes for both sides as well. We do see some familiar names returning or coming in with this brand new team here in Shibuya Syndicates. We had really no idea what to expect from them with it being a completely brand new roster, but they have very familiar faces coaching them. And Tyler and Pasty. Tyler and Pasty, both champions in their own right in Tranquility as well. So lots of familiar names here, and it really could go either way tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And just looking at the roster sheet for these two teams here, Shibuya Syndicates, one of the more stronger rosters here in the Harmony tier. Some Diamond players mixed in with the Plat players here on this team. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these two teams go up against each other here tonight. But Yeti, we do know what our first map of the night is. We're going to be heading to New Queen Street here.
New Queen Street. We are starting on Push tonight. This is changed from Season 10. We alternate now the starting map between Push and Control. Then we go Hybrid, Escort, then Control. No, it says Push on there, but it's Control. Trust me, I promise you. But that's, again, a 1-to-3 setup here for tonight instead of the former setup we used to have, which was best of 4. Things are different this season. Everything's based on that 1-to-3 now. So things are certainly different this season here in Tranquility. And we are definitely excited with these changes. But hey, we have the same old Push on a great map going into the streets of Toronto with these two teams ready to take each other on. Now, Dex, it is worth noting, these teams have already faced each other in this preseason tournament. It was a double elimination setup this season, and GP beat Shibuya Syndicates 2-1. I was the 1-to-2 at that point. So there is a little bit of history here, but it was a very, very close matchup. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens when we give that one little expansion upward in how many wins it takes to take the match.
Yeah, absolutely. Adding that in, that extra win that you need 1-to-3 really does, put some more pressure on to the losing team first, but actually take some off as well, because your backs aren't immediately up against the wall. You can kind of catch your breath a little bit, go back into another map, and still lose that one and still have a fighting chance when it's a 1st-3 rather than a 1st-2 here. So again, I mean, I expect this to be a very close series. I talked about Shibuya, how they on paper are one of the better teams in the Harmony tier at the moment. Well, GP, you know, is up there as well, but not as good. However, you telling me that they already have some history against each other, GP beating them earlier in this preseason tournament, does give me a lot of hope that it will be another close series.
It should be. I really do think this is going to be a great one to start off on. That double elimination format tends to result in the cream of this tier rising to the top. We saw a lot of great teams in this Harmony tier tournament. It's going to be exciting. Lots of new faces, especially with the SR inflation that we saw from season 2 and 3 in Overwatch 2's competitive scene. We saw a lot of new teams coming in this season into the preseason bracket here in Harmony tier. Pew Pew Plunderers had a really great preseason, came up just short in the lower bracket finals. Also, Tactical Yokers, a team that looked really good playing against some of the top end teams in Harmony tier. Brand new team this season. Really excited to see what they're going to do. There's a lot of familiar faces as well returning with teams like Luminous Foxes and Boop, one of the oldest teams in Tranquility, going all the way back to season 2. That's right, season 2, 5 calendar years ago. They're back and they're here again, and they're in the Harmony tier once again. So Dex, some old and new faces in the tier, but like I said, we got a good one tonight, and the cream definitely rose to the top here in that Harmony tier bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we already touched on a lot here tonight. GP winners of last year's Harmony tier champions, and hey, they had an incredible performance in last year's playoffs. They came in as the 10 seed, able to knock off a couple high seeds, eventually got reseeded as the 7 seed once it got knocked down to 8 teams, and just blazed their way through there in the playoffs and ended up winning the championship 3-1. So it looks like they caught fire at the right time. However, again, GP still looking very strong right now, as we have said, with a whole new roster of players.
Absolutely. It's a completely new roster, but obviously they've figured things out, and it is really working out well for them, obviously, here as we get into this season for this team. And here we go. Season 11 kicking off, well, kind of, right now. Galactic Penguins, Shibuya Syndicates. Here we go next.
I mean, hey, season 11 has to get started somewhere. Why not with a grand finals in the preseason? I know it doesn't necessarily mean a lot, but for some of these teams, it does give a lot of confidence going into the regular season.
Here we go now, up at this fight right now. We see Ember coming in on the Zarya. A little bit of an atypical look, but it's going to be Mr. Box picking up the first killing blow here from the Shibuya Syndicates, now pushing Galactic Penguins back, down 1 DPS. Galactic Penguins going to get a little bit of space right now as they try to set up Shibuya Galactic using that Bastion, trying to keep Shibuya at bay. They will have to fall back. That's going to be first cap to Shibuya.
Yeah, especially with Carnage falling there early for GP, they really had to try to play it safe. They're looking for another kill, but Ember able to get stuff going early this fight, taking care of Sophie, and that's huge for GP. Getting rid of that May really allows them to kind of be a little bit more aggressive. However, you still have to deal with Starry Knight here on that Ramonda here, who can just go into that second form they have and still deal a lot of damage. However, Glimpse able to find a cool puppet there, and now you hear that Bastion turn just revving up. Damage coming out. Carnage finds Mr. Box. Both supports down for the Syndicates here. Gonna have to fall back off of that.
The Law laying it down there. Lots of damage. Great healing, by the way, from Boo from Galactic Penguins here. Putting out a lot of heals, keeping up the Law, enabling them to really be aggressive right now. Kind of a tough composition to protect your Bastion with this composition. So you need a lot of burst healing, which is what they're getting from this Baptiste. And here comes the window to continue the burst damage.
Yeah, but you see that Blizzard immediately come right out again. Sophie, though, immediately dies as they are standing right in front of that damage there from Boo. And they're immediately able to take him out there. Ember gets rid of that immortality going. Look at what that does here to Shibuya. Forces them to fall back. GP gonna be able to probably get the forward spawns off this team fight. And it looks like they're looking for more here.
Shibuya getting pushed back hard there. Perhaps a tactical error, hitting that Blizzard a little too early. But here comes the overclock right now for Blue the Color, pushing very hard, taking down the Law. No Bastion, no big damage now. for Galactic Penguins as Blue the color working from the high ground.
And then you lose Carnage as well, both DPS out, and then your main damage dealer, Ember, taken out as well, and Blue the color just tearing through GP here at the moment. Gonna be able to take control of the bot here and kind of get rid of those forward spawns pretty quickly.
Yeah, Blue the color making Galactic feel a little bit blue there with that one. Very strong overclock play there from the high ground, taking down the Law. The Law going to be putting on a lot of damage. Bastion's buffs make Bastion a huge threat right now, and so far Shibuya having a hard time isolating the Bastion and killing them. But now Starry Knight with this with this Ramatra ult here, they have huge potential to pop off and really push back. They're kind of holding off right now, waiting for some cooldown perhaps. They haven't popped the ultimate yet. We do see the window come out again here from Boo.
Yeah, Boo's been able to get these damage rates up really fast so far. And look what it does to Syndicates here. It forces them to fall back. Now a damage rate of their own coming out here. And Ember going to be immediately melted down because of it. Starry Knight here still holding on to this Annihilation as the Law trying to pump in damage. Mr. Box, though, going to be able to win that fight against the Law there. And now Syndicates trying to go in. Still Starry Knight holding on to this Annihilation here, trying to maybe wait for this forward spawn fight.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like that call, but I mean, it worked out. But I feel like in that situation, you use that ultimate to secure that fight. And the window there from Cool Puppet was pretty good. Shibuya's got to do a better job at kiting out these windows, though. Boo is building them out so quickly, and they should be able to kite them out normally, but they're not really playing well around that right now. And here comes the Bastion ultimate.
Oh, it's comboed with a grab, but there's no kills coming from it. However, Carnage will find one with their Death Blossom there, and look at the damage coming out from GP right after that. It's 4 members down. Blue the color trying to escape. They'll be able to take one on their way out of Glimpse there, and that might be actually a huge pickoff there.
It might. It's a Lucio, so they will be back fairly quick, fortunately for them. I will say that I do have to question the investment there from Galactic Penguins. They use Grab, Bastion, and the Death Blossom there. I have to question whether or not that was a good idea. That's a lot of investment here with only Sound Barrier going into this fight.
I mean, you're absolutely right. A lot of investment, but they do have forward spawns back. But here comes another overclock from Blue the color. They have their eyes set on whoever they can find here at the moment. They do find Carnage. Now they have their eyes set onto the support line. Not able to find anyone there. Loldo, it was from that Blue Puppet. Here comes the Annihilation from Starry Knight. But it's the rest of the team here for the Syndicates picking up kill after kill. Ember continuing to try to keep this fight alive, but eventually the numbers game will win out there in the end, and so will the Law fall as well.
The Law is down, and that ends that push there for Galactic. And it was a good couple of ultimates invested there, and they get to hold on to the Blizzard here for this forward spawn fight. So this is a big fight for Shibuya. They win this fight, they probably will. Oh, they stopped pushing the cart though. They might not be able to get to that checkpoint or near that checkpoint here. Okay, they are getting that cart close. Here we go. Cart flips briefly, but this is a big fight for Shibuya. They got ultimates to win it. They just got to win it now.
Yeah, the Blizzard from Soapy, they've been kind of hit or miss so far with them. They need to find one that is huge for them this fight. But Glimpse does have that beat ready to go. Carnage though falling early is huge. However, the damage is coming out. It will be countered out here by a Blizzard. However, again, it only is able to find Glimpse this time, but they're able to use their beat before to keep themselves alive. Now it's this form coming out there from Starry Knight, applying a lot of damage there to Mr. Box. Not able to find them just yet, but Syndicates here doing enough to win this team fight at the moment and get these forward spawns.
That was really interesting because really Shibuya Syndicates had that Blizzard, but it was kind of a whiff. It just did not connect with really anybody there. But nonetheless, the chaos it caused and the split it caused, pulling Ember completely away from their team, resulted in that fight going in Shibuya's favor. As Carnage was, as Starry Knight was just able to sit in the back line for Galactic there. And now it's a great opportunity for Shibuya as they get to push this one here with the lead with only 3 minutes left.
Yeah, I mean, they just took the lead. They're so close to another Annihilation. Blue the color almost has their overclock as well. GP, though, does have some ultimates in their disposal right now. But here comes the grab from Ember. The damage mix is coming out from Blue Puppet as well. But now, again, it's both DPS comboing with that Zarya grab to take care of everyone there for the Syndicates.
You know, honestly, again, it's the same thing. You grab and Blossom alone, or even grab and the Bastion ult alone, that's enough. Why are they using 3 ultimates? I have to question that. Because honestly, now they're not set up for their next fight. They go in with no ultimates in this forward spawn fight, and it's very bad for them.
Absolutely. Here comes the overclock out from Blue, the color, trying to find anyone they possibly can here. Able to find one there to get started is Soapy onto the law. However, GP still just kind of pushing the spot forward.
GP right now, GP still managing to just push this forward, but Soapy is going to pick up a kill there, pick up a couple kills, and that's just going to turn right back around. Again, they had no tools in the shed to bring into that fight. Sure, they're going to come back with 2 support ultimates here. They might build back up to win another fight with that triple combo, but I have to question what they're gaining out of that, because that's just a significant investment for one fight in push where you need to win consecutive fights to be able to get cart distance. So I have to question that here. Hopefully Galactic will make an adjustment.
They're going to need to here, as they came out of the gate pretty strong, but right now kind of struggling.
Yeah, they're definitely struggling here. Again, Starry Night continuing to get that strong push forward, and it's just too much for Galactic to really handle. Forward spawn now unlocked, and look at the ultimates for Shibuya. Sure, there's support ultimates for Galactic, but Shibuya is just going to counter with all their ultimates. It's a very tough situation right now for Galactic.
Downbridge coming out, beat coming out as well here from GP, followed by just a lot going on. Boo able to find one there, but it's Soapy now coming alive, using a blizzard there to try to get a couple kills. Gonna be able to find 3 here early, helping Shibuya trying to close out this map. Kwu will be able to find the law there, who swaps over to a May. Glimpso able to escape.
A squeaky clean ultimate there from Soapy. Very well done with that blizzard. The push is now for Galactic. They're gonna need to win at least 3, maybe 4 fights to win now. And they have ultimates coming up here, but you got to wonder if they're going to have the discipline to use it correctly. Here comes the Blizzard. They're not using anything else yet. Here we go. Carnage going to push in with that Death Blossom here. Not going to use it this time, though. They're spacing out their ultimates, and this is the first we've seen that, and it's already paid off. One ultimate, won the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. They needed to try to hold on some of these ultimates there. Law using the Blizzard, able to find a couple kills off that. Helped them out a lot, and Mr. Box falling right there is not what Shibuya needed. However, they will be able to get out here and try to fight before the spawns reset. However, they're not going to do that. Actually playing it kind of smart right now.
Yeah, they're playing pretty smart right now. They're kind of letting it just get in. Honestly, I think they're giving them a little too much space. They don't need to give them all this, but they're going to play for forward spawns here. Again, they're going to probably have to win 2 or 3, but it's going to be a huge Death Blossom there, and it's Carnage right there for Galactic Penguins coming up with the 3K. And Dex right now. Ooh, that's a good turn.
Blue the Color and Starry Night both use their ultimates there. Now it's just up to Glimpse versus Starry Night. The Lucio versus the Ramatra. You don't want to see that, Glimpse.
And here comes reinforcements. Oh
just
no.
Juking around everyone, but eventually Mr. Box on the Lucio of their own will be able to come back, knock them out, and Shibuya will take the first map.
You know, I have to say there were some strange choices there with ultimates from both teams kind of at the end with how they were using their ultimates, but nonetheless, it worked out. The teams for Shibuya Syndicates, that distance was just too much for them to overcome, and Galactic paid the price for that lack of ult discipline there with their DPS and tank ultimates, and they absolutely paid for it there. You got to question what they were doing there, but at the same time, Galactic did answer back in that last bit there. We saw some fantastic pushing from them, and it's a great sign for what they could do the rest of this matchup here. But Shibuya looking really strong, very disciplined team. They're looking really good, and excited to see the rest of this match tonight because I think they right now have an upper hand over Galactic.
Yeah, absolutely. You can easily look back at it. Once Shibuya got the momentum, they kind of never really let it go. Yeah, GP was able to win a fight here or there, reset the spawns, but it just seemed like that didn't really ever phase Shibuya there. They were able to come back out, use 1 or 2 ultimates to easily win another team fight, push that bot back up, back into the forward spawns, and back towards, you know, closer to the end point that they were trying to get to there. They weren't able to get to that in the end, as GP made some good swaps there as well at the end to try to fight back. However, just not enough in the end.
Yeah, it wasn't quite enough there from Galactic. It was a great effort, a great attempt, And Push is such an interesting map type because it plays so much differently than other things. You have to really, ult discipline is incredibly important because you have to be able to win consecutive fights. You have to be able to play into consecutive fights. You can't just sit and rely on the same old thing the entire way through. You have to play for those consecutive fight wins. You don't have a lot of different kind of cover you can play. You don't have the point advantage. You're not ticking up anything like that. You don't have those advantages like you do in things like in other types of game modes. So you have to string together those long fights to be able to make up those long distances. In a situation for Shibuya there, I think they could have played more aggressively on defense and probably taken a couple more fights there at the end, but they chose a conservative route. It almost bit them because Carnage almost popped off just enough for Galactic to win that, but almost doesn't count in Overwatch. Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So it wasn't quite what they were looking for, and it just didn't pan out for Galactic Penguins. But again, Shibuya's in really good shape right now. Really impressed so far, by the way, with the support play, though, from Galactic Penguins. I have to say, some really impressive Baptiste play on hand there. And I honestly, the name slipped me all of a sudden. Hey, it's new rosters. Cut us some slack here. But it was from Boo on that team. They looked fantastic. They were ratcheting up an amplification matrix, it seemed like, every fight.
Yeah, it seemed like like you said, almost every other fight they were getting them really, really fast there, and it really helped them out at the start of that round there for them. They were able to get the 4 spawns pretty quickly because Boo was able to get that amplification matrix, and it immediately counted out a blizzard there from Sophie on Shibuya there. And once that kind of went their way, I thought, oh, this is a good kind of map here for GP. They're shutting down ultimates pretty early, but eventually it's Shibuya able to come back, turn it all around there at the end, and win the map. However, Yeti, we do know what our next map is, and we can't have a Tranquility series without going to King's Row.
We sure can't. It's King's Row time here in this matchup, and it's the classic hybrid choice, it seems like, in King's Row. I can't remember the statistics on it. Somebody actually ran the numbers one season, but I believe the pick rate on King's Row when it's in the map pool is somewhere around 80 to 90%. So it is the map that people tend to play, but it's a lot of people's favorite map. Old Goats map. It's the old Brawl map, and everybody loves a good Brawl every now and then. Now, King's Row has evolved over time to not necessarily just be the Brawl map. At times it's been the Wrecking Ball map. At times it's been the Winston Rush map. Now there's also times where it's the Sigma map. It just depends on what's powerful in the meta these days as teams have kind of adjusted their style. So King's Row is not the old map that we used to know, but at the same time, it's still classic King's Row. It's the map we all know and love, and it's why we keep going back, it seems like, every time.
Absolutely. I mean, I asked Neptune, the coach for GP, some questions before this series got started here tonight, and I asked, what kind of comps they've been working on. They did say that they have been working on ball comps here, and I would not be surprised to see King's Row as that debut on stream for that ball comp here for us tonight. I mean, I really like a ball comp here on King's Row. I really feel like ball, just in general, is a very much a disrupting tank, and you put a lot of it into the hands of the DPS to try to clean up, and I feel like GP does have those DPS to do that.
I agree. I think they absolutely do. We do see one substitution, just to make people aware of that as well, for Shibuya Syndicates. They're taking out Blue the color. Blue had a fantastic match last time. But that being said, we are bringing in Ghost. Now, Ghost is a former member of Flashbacks here in Tranquility, so they obviously have a lot of experience here as well. Been in a competitive organization as well, so they know how to get in and do some work in these high pressure situations. And right now we do see Ghost coming in here for Shibuya as they look to go up 2-0 in this 1-3 set. Galactic Penguins now going to be trying to come back here. They're making no substitutions. Now, I kind of do hope to see that Wrecking Ball composition. The thing is, in this level of play, Dexatron, Wrecking Ball tends, if you have a great Wrecking Ball player, it can absolutely be dominant. There's just tends to be a little bit more of a struggle for Harmony Tier, like that diamond or that plat and gold level player, to really be able to adjust to a Wrecking Ball. They tend to be just a little bit too much to deal with, and you have a great Wrecking Ball who knows how to be disruptive, get in and out of the fights quickly, knows how to keep themselves alive, keep themselves stable, and really, really be that disruptive force. You don't really need anything else. You can play ball every map. It just works.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, it just works sometimes. Sometimes all you need to do is have a ball on your team. It doesn't matter what else the comp is. Just ball sometimes will end up winning or turning some fights for your team here. But GP going to be switching sides here, going on the offensive here first. And right now, looks like they're showing us a Ryan.
Yeah, they're coming out with a Reinhardt here. Now, Reinhardt, obviously the old classic tank for King's Row. But that being said, things have kind of shifted away from Reinhardt now, because Ryan tends to get countered pretty hard by who Shibuya is playing, Ramatra. Ramatra has kind of become the brawl tank of choice these days, for good reason. It's just really powerful, tends to kind of negate a lot of what goes on with Reinhardt's shield and Reinhardt's strengths. And, well, it just tends to be pretty hard counter. But Ember for Galactic Penguins, going to stick with the Reinhardt, see if they can run it out here. And we'll have to see what exactly is going to happen between these two teams. But here we go now. It's brawl time. It's brawl night on King's Row.
Fight night here on Tranquility. It's brawl v brawl. Two different types of brawl. Like you said, the Ramatra, kind of a good counter to the Reinhardt here. And you immediately see them go after each other. Immortality Field's coming out here from both sides. But at the end of the day, it will actually be Shibuya taking care of Ember. Down goes the Law, as well as Starry Knight able to get one kill on the board.
Great play right there from Shibuya to be able to hold off that initial push. Ember did get a lot of ultimate charge, which is great. But at the same time, for Shibuya, you're in really good shape right now. That first very dominant fight.
But now Galactic Penguins trying to come back into this one here, looking to have a little bit more success here this time. Immortality Field already coming out there from them. However, it immediately gets taken out there. Actually, no, that's the Syndicate's Immortality Field coming out. And now the Syndicate here kind of falling back right now, but they have that damage matrix ready to go. A nice ice wall coming up there from the Law. However, it immediately gets melted away because of that damage matrix. And now GP trying to continue getting some kills. Shatter coming out will only hit one person there, but they're able to take care of them. Now a damage matrix of their own will be all they need to cap point A here.
Great work there from Galactic. Good time bank now to build on as well as they're keeping up the aggression, trying to push out into Shibuya Syndicates here and try to push them back further. Only the amplification matrix and Earth Shatter need to be used there for Galactic to push through. They're going to have a Blizzard coming up here, but Shibuya going to be coming back now with Ghost Overclock as well. So there's a lot of damage potential coming out from both teams, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Yeah, I mean, you have to talk about Blue the color. They had a lot of good overclocks last round, and now it's time for Ghost to see what they can do with these overclocks right now. Immediately popping it here early, trying to find anyone. Disrupting shot coming out, not gonna find the kills they were looking for with that overclock. Now Blizzard coming out here from the Law. No one getting froze just yet for the Syndicates as they all escape there, but it will be Ember taking care of Sophie there to get everything going. Nemesis form coming out here from Starry Knight, trying to tank as much damage as they possibly can, and Ramatra, a very good tank at doing that. Death Blossom ready here for Carnage, waiting to use it, not going to use it as the Annihilation is coming out here from that Ramatra.
That was a great beat right there from both Lucios to keep that fight alive. But what an Earth Shatter, my goodness.
What a Shatter finds two. You immediately see it turn into 3, make it 4 kills there for GP. And now you're going to see GP get very aggressive here. Ember getting very low on health, wanting to try to get rid of Sophie before they're able to get back into the fight, because GP wants to try to cap this point B here as quickly as they can, and they're going to be able to.
Incredible stuff right there from GP. Ember really answering every criticism I had so far with this Reinhardt play. Very dominant. And Shibuya feeling the pressure. Starry Knight gonna make the swap over to the Reinhardt to try to counter this. So now it's Rhine v Rhine like the good old days. Good old-fashioned, honest Overwatch, I say, as Carnage sneaks in from the back line and helps find 3 or 4 right there with that Death Blossom. Thank you very much for the dishonest Overwatch.
And right there, a team kill for GP. A great team fight for them. A very quick one. And look at that time bank still. Over 4 minutes right now. And the Law shutting down Crew Puppet early. The damage mix now coming out here from Goose. That Fire Strike coming out from Ember just melts Starry Knight down. And GP just trying to clean up the remainder of Syndicates here. However, the Blizzard now coming out from Sophie might be huge. You do see Ember trapped in it, but they're able to keep themselves alive. But everyone for the Shibuya Syndicates falling, and GP putting on a clinic here on Kings Row.
Yeah, over 4 minutes left on the time bank. That is a great push right there from the Galactic Penguins. And it's what we've come to expect in this type of map. If you get a strong head start and a strong lead, it's really hard to overcome that. And that appears to be the issue there. And they were just unfortunately never really able to stem the tide leading on the side of Shibuya. And that was just a straight up Galactic rampage right now. And now for Galactic, they're going to come back here. They're going to have 4 minutes on the time bank, 4 minutes and 4 minutes on the, or 4 minutes and 4 seconds on the time bank. Shibuya got to be feeling a little bit demoralized, but now, hey, we could just be in for one of those classic King Row, 9 to 8 type scores here, Dex.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna definitely not make a joke about 404 being the time bank right there for them. But yeah, like you said, I could easily see this being, like what you said, a classic Kings Row back and forth, multiple overtime maps here. But Shibuya Syndicates, they need to show me something here. I think they have the team to, complete this map. They do not need to complete it as fast as GP did, but they just need to try to match them at certain points.
I agree. I think the first thing they could do is just stick with the Ramatra. I think Ramatra in general is just a better hero right now than Reinhardt. It just simply put is a better hero. Does that mean that Starry Knight's going to necessarily win if he goes Ramatra? No, but he's a better hero in the long term. That being said, you get Reinhardt v Reinhardt. So what do I know?
I mean, it's like they were listening to you. The moment you said I liked them on the Ramatra, they immediately swap off to the Rhine here. And they're already putting in a lot of damage. Both Rhines, though, charging into each other, and it will be Starry Knight falling there. Now, this is, again, kind of reminding me of a lot how GP's round started. The tank went down, then a DPS went down. However, everyone else from GP was able to escape, and the ice wall there from the Law is huge as they're able to find a team kill here early.
A charge early from Reinhardt like that tends to be a sign that they're trying to make plays, trying to go too hard, perhaps not really thinking about the consequences of their actions. And that's kind of what can happen if you get too aggressive on the Reinhardt, especially rounding a corner like that. You're just too isolated right in front of their whole team, and that's exactly what ended up happening. Shibuya's going to come back now with 5, though, and here we go again.
And you immediately see the ice walls there trying to trap off teams or members of the team away from the other members of the team. However, Carnage and the Shatter coming out from Ember, a very quick one, able to find 2 kills off of that one. 4 members of the Syndicate already down. The only one able to escape with their lives is Mr. Box.
Yeah, and honestly, right now, if I'm Shibuya Syndicates, I'm thinking maybe we go back to the Ramatra comp. I just feel like Ramatra just gives them so much more capability, and they've already shined on it. I don't know necessarily that the Reinhardt is the right choice here. And right now, they got to be careful over extend. Oh, that is just a brutal pick off there. It's getting too cute in the choke. There's no reason for that. That's just an unnecessary death right there. And now here comes Galactic piling on the aggression, and they won't find any picks there, but for Shibuya, that's demoralizing. That's just brutal to deal with. That's 20 to 30 seconds off your time.
Yeah, and especially when you look at the ultimate charges right now, GP about to have 3-4 ultimates ready to go. They're immediately going to start with that damage matrix, and you see what happens there. Carnage able to land a couple shots there on the Cruel Puppet. Melts them, the Law winning the May duel once again. Ember winning the Rhine duel right now. GP is feeling themselves at the moment.
GP looking fantastic right now in this one here. And oh no, Ghost is caught again. And this is just so tough to watch for Shibuya. They are struggling to find any footing right now. And we see ultimates coming up. Yeah, that's great. And they go back to the Ramatra now. It's the right choice. It's the right pick. But Galactic is so far ahead right now, it's going to be really hard to come back here. Shibuya needs to find some picks, and they need a huge blizzard is what they really need right now.
Yeah, they need something to go their way. The beat coming out here from Glimpse a little bit early, but you do see the blizzard coming out here from the Law. It captures 2 in it. They lose their tank. They lose their Lucio. The Death Blossom coming out here from Ghost will find 1, but the Shatter coming out from Ember will clean up everyone else there for the Syndicates.
No, I don't love what happened there. I don't love it right now if you're Shibuya. You could have taken a dry fight there, pulled a bunch of ultimates out of Galactic, but instead now you lose Death Blossom, and now you go over to this Sojourn, which is a fine pick. But again, the ult discipline right now is not great, and it's really hurting both these teams at different times. I need to see both these teams really tighten up their ult economy here going into the second half of this roundup here. Right now, Galactic primed to finish this thing off.
I mean, 30 seconds on the clock right now. The Blizzard does come out from Sophie, does buy them some space. Glimpse getting caught up in it, able to keep themselves alive, and it's Carnage shutting down Starry Night. The High Noon does come out, but they get shut down themselves there by Cruel Puppet as they pop their own amplification matrix. They find Ember as well. Shibuya Syndicates able to keep themselves in this fight right now. The Law trying to take out however many they can, but in the end, they will not be able to. And the Syndicates clawing and scratching their way, able to get this first point at the end of their time.
Clutch plays right there from Cool Puppet and Soapy to finish that one off there. A little bit of help from Ghost as well. But that was just a clutch DPS play. For Galactic, Galactic played that perfectly. They fell back. They knew they didn't need to keep them from getting all... They just needed to keep them from capping, not getting all the ticks. They did some great kiting there, but it was just too little too late, and great play there from Shibuya.
Oh, Blizzard coming out. It captures three members of the Syndicates dead on the spot. Make it a fourth one there as Soapy falls as well again. Mr. Box, the only one with the speed to get away from it all.
Yeah, Galactic really putting the boots to the throats on that one. That was brutal to watch. A great ultimate. It's all they needed. One ultimate, finishing it off. Great ult discipline from Galactic. Great play there.
And Ember still holding on to this Shadow right now, but you do see right there, Stardust does have their Annihilation ready to go, so I imagine it might be waiting for a counter. However, counter what? Nothing gonna come out from that as Ember immediately finds a couple there. They find Sophie, the Ramatra falls as well. Beat coming out here from Glimpse. Galactic Penguins wants to hold Arches, and so far they are holding them like a charm right now.
The old jump shatter there from Ember, turning the corner, popping up into the air. It's, you know, they basic Reinhardt thing, don't jump shatter, but at the same time, it looks really cool, and sometimes that's the most important thing. It's about sending a message. And that right there was a message from Ember, and that was, I am the superior tank, I am the diff right now, and that was great play there from Ember.
Sometimes it's just about the style points, and whatever comes after it is just icing on the cake. The beat comes out here from Mr. Box. Starry Night still holding on to that Annihilation right now, probably waiting for a go button as well, but the damage pitch is coming out here from Goose. The Law shuts down Mr. Box. Here comes a Blizzard from Soapy. It captured a couple, but that immortality field there from Goose is huge, keeps everyone alive, and the Law fighting everyone right now and winning. However, they eventually will lose there to Soapy. At the end of the day, though, end of the fight, GP still holding on very strongly.
Yeah, Starry Night hold on to that ultimate again. And you gotta be able to use that Carnage there. You gotta be able to use that Annihilation there if you're Starry Night, because I feel like that's just gonna open up that fight for you to take that win. And they just didn't do it. Oh, right now, if you see, oh no, Mr. Box gets caught and destroyed. Oh. And there's a first shatter. It's just all too little too late at this point. They really just didn't have the resources for this thing. And it just shows, look at all the ultimates.
All the ultimates come out. It's an ultimate party here to end it on King's Row. Mr. Box gonna come back. Boop, a couple people away there to keep the hopes alive, but I don't think anyone else from the Shibuya Syndicates will be able to get back in time, and GP able to even the series out here after King's Row.
Yeah, GP looked really strong in this one. For all the faults that I cited in map 1, map 2 was the complete opposite. Great discipline from Galactic there with their ultimate economy, and just really every fight it seemed like they had a huge advantage. There were some scrappy fights that Shibuya pulled out here and there, but it was just straight up at times. It felt like a Galactic Penguins dominant on that map. And if you're Shibuya, yeah, you got 1-1 right now. That's great. Now we move to a 1-2 type situation. 1-3 overall here. 2 more map points to win for both these teams. So who knows where we're going to go. Could be really interesting either way here. Not really sure. It's going to be interesting to see how these teams come back after our 5-minute halftime here, Dex.
Yeah, absolutely. But like you said, we're going to take a quick little break here and be right back with map number 3 of this preseason grand finals. welcome back everyone from that short halftime break. Their series is tied 1-1 after 2 maps here, and Yeti, it has been a very back and forth series so far.
Truthfully, it has been. A Galactic in the first map tended to be a little bit more of a mess, and Shibuya took advantage of them, and then the roles flipped, and Shibuya seemed to struggle, and Galactic dominated. And this is kind of interesting to set up here. Again, these two teams have played each other already, with Galactic coming out ahead in that one 2-1. We're now in another 1-1 scenario, so it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening with this next round. Now, it's worth noting the last time these two teams played, they started on a control map, so a little different of a look now. They brought Push into it, and Shibuya won that. Now we go to an escort map, not really sure what to expect. But, I mean, Dex, I've been really impressed with the play that we've seen from these all very unknown players. Have come out and really shown some stuff this season, or so far.
Yeah, absolutely so far. I mean, me and you were talking about during that halftime break there. We've been very impressed with both the tanks so far. They have played their role perfectly in both of our opinions so far, to the best of their abilities at least. But then, I mean, you brought up a decent amount that the support lines for both sides, they have also been doing an excellent job so far.
Yeah, and I want to give a special shout out to Cool Puppet. I think there's been a lot of pressure onto Starry Night right now for Shibuya, and I think Cool Puppet has done a really good job of keeping Starry afloat on that Ramatra. Ramatra takes a heap of damage. It's just the nature of that tank. It takes a lot of damage. It gets beat up a lot, especially when it goes into that attack mode and just Nemesis form, and just starts pushing in and gets aggressive. It takes so much damage. It needs that big burst healing that really only a Baptiste or a Moira can give you. And we're seeing that awesome Baptiste play enable and set up Starry Night in those fights for Shibuya to be able to win. Now, that being said, turning the table over to Galactic Penguins, what I've been really impressed with is the DPS on that team. I want to specifically highlight the Law. The Law has been very strong so far on the May tonight. Carnage has picked up a ton of kills on that, especially on that Cassidy last map. Really strong on the Cassidy. But I don't really know what to expect right now, because we're kind of seeing everybody pop off at different times. But we're also seeing the teams make some really interesting macro mistakes at times too, that are resulting in some really scrappy fights, which tends to mean that the team with the DPS players that are popping off the most tends to win in those scenarios. So right now, I think a lot of pressure, and really the rest of the night is going to be determined how the Law and Carnage end up matching up against Ghost, Soapy, and Blue the Color. I think that is going to be the key to watch the rest of the way through, because these fights are so scrappy. Who's going to come out on top in those DPS?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I talked to the coach for GP Neptune, and they really want us to watch out for the Law here tonight. They thought they were going to have a great performance, and so far they have. And we can bring up the kind of May duels that they've been having there with Sophie. However, though, we do know our next map of the night will be heading to Toronto here. But going back to it, the May duel between the Law and Soapy. I mean, you know, I was kind of talking about during the break that if there's one player that I want to kind of see more out of, it would be Soapy for the Syndicates. It doesn't mean they're having a bad night by any means, because they are having a good night so far. I just feel like whenever they get those blizzards ready to go, they are not capturing a lot of people. They're not freezing a lot of people. That might just come down to great communication coming out from GP, or just some misplaced blizzards coming out from Soapy.
Yeah, I think that's 100% true. I think the Soapy needs to, Soapy on that May is a very critical piece of what's going to end up happening here the rest of the way. Now, that being said, we do see Blue the Color coming back in for Ghost on the side of Shibuya Syndicates. And then if we're looking at Shibuya Syndicates as well, we saw Mr. Box coming out here now for Dawn of Dreams, who will be stepping in now as the new main support for that team. So, you know, we see some changes coming in here for Shibuya, a little bit of a different look now. Galactic Penguins coming in with a different look, or we're coming in with the same look. We have not seen any of their, any Goose so far, I believe, so far tonight, to my knowledge. Could be wrong on that. I might.
No, they played Kings Road.
That was Goose there? Well, then, you know what? Never mind. I'm very sorry. But I didn't see the substitution called. That's my bad. But, you know, here we go on Dorado. It's a completely different map than what we saw in Kings Row. I think this tends to play now a little bit more into tanks with high mobility. So you could see some Diva here, maybe some Wrecking Ball. Who knows? Could be a lot of different things. Or, you know, we might just see teams force brawl. Who knows?
I mean, if you want to force brawl, I feel like we kind of learned last map. Maybe don't force brawl against GP here. Try to get them off on some off picks right now, something that's out of their comfort zone. But, you know, you're talking about subs. The Syndicates do have a lot more subs than GP does. I believe you said GP only has about 1 sub. Shibuya Syndicates, I think they have a roster of about 8 or 9 players. So a little bit of a deeper roster means that they can bring in players and play a couple different comps.
Now into Dorado we go. Gorgeous map, fantastic map. A lot, in my opinion, one of the best made maps here in Overwatch, period. I know that might be a divisive opinion. I know some people who specifically hate this map, and to those people, I say push off. It's a fantastic map. I loved it. Great map. I rigged the map pool to put it in there. Psych, I didn't do that. But, you know, it's fun to say that, just to troll people. But that being said, here we go. It's going to be Galactic coming out now with the Winston, Echo, and I assume the Symmetra. Dex, I'm confused. For Galactic, the Galactic coming out with the Symmetra, I'm assuming they're just TPing, right?
Yeah, it's probably going to be a TP onto one of the high grounds here, maybe even the high ground right there where basically everyone for Shibuya is kind of forming up right now. But yeah, it's probably just a TP up onto one of them and then a swap over to maybe a Tracer like you're seeing the Syndicates come out with. While as someone like myself who's played too many hours on Symmetra would try to force it here, probably not what you want to do in a competitive setting.
No, not necessarily, but here we are. We are live, and that's a quick couple of kills right there for Shibuya. Taking down Glimpse and Goose immediately. Galactic, no support line. Let's just start over again. Let's just start again, please.
Yeah, it looks like they tried to TP far side there to go all the way around and get up that high ground. Didn't end up working out for them. Ember now diving up there, gets slept though by Lou Puppet, and what a good sleep by them. And ooh, they're going even further now, finding the law as well. GP though finally getting some card push as Glimpse finally able to get them on the kill feed right there. However, it's only short-lived as Ember does fall there.
Ember taking them down, or Ember getting taken down right there for Galactic Penguins. Going to be forced to reset here. Shibuya picked this map. Worth mentioning is Shibuya so far looking great on it with this one here, coming out ahead right now in all these engagements so far. Another sleep there from Cool Puppet, not quite connecting, but the heals being dumped in right now into the tank, and Dex right now, teams are trading off.
Yeah, trade there. The law for Cool Puppet going each way right there. In my opinion, that kind of hurts the Syndicates right there. You don't want to lose out on a lot of support coming out for them. They do get the res up to get them back up. However, it does come at the cost of the reser there. The Mercy out, Ember able to take care of them right now. However, getting that Ana back in play might actually help Shibuya here try to stabilize a little bit, but you immediately see Ember dive back in on that high ground. You immediately see Starry Night come up there and try to keep them alive, but in the end, it will be Carnage taking them out, and the Syndicates here have to fall back a little bit, in my opinion.
I thought Cool Puppet might just barely stay alive there, but they did get taken down. Galactic now with a ton of momentum, and there goes as well Soapy being taken down by Carnage. And that's going to be point here, I'm pretty sure, for Galactic. There's really nothing Shibuya could do here except set up for point B.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't want to force anything there and even hurt themselves even worse for maybe a potential early fight here. The Law, though, getting very aggressive, does have a duplicate ready to go, so they could use it if they felt in danger there, but they did not. And look at GP right now. Almost all 5 ultimates ready to go. Same thing, though, could be said here for Shibuya.
Absolutely. There's so many ultimates right now. We're going to see more queue than you see at the Republican National Convention. It's going to get a little crazy coming up right now for both these teams, and I'm kind of curious to see who's going to pull the trigger here first. And my guess is it's going to be that pulse bomb, and it was a pulse bomb there, and it did connect onto the Law.
Pulse bomb followed by the Valkyrie there from Shibuya right now, but GP slowly kind of pushing this cart right now, even though they're losing the team fight here. And it does look like eventually, I believe it was Carnage on the point there, was noticed, and they ran away to keep themselves alive. 2 ultimates used there for Shibuya, 5 ready for GP, 3 ready for the Syndicates here. So still, it could be a very heavily invested ult fight next time we meet.
Galactic now perhaps being a little too cautious with their ultimates. And the big thing with ultimates oftentimes is who takes the initiative and uses them first, who gets the jump on the opponent. And really we haven't seen we've really only seen Shibuya do that so far. Here comes Starry Night getting slept now, but here's the Primal Rage from Ember. But kills are trading out with 2 supports down for each team.
Yeah, big one there though. Shibuya able to get that nano out there onto the Winston, and now you immediately see Soapy here duplicate into a May of their own, trying to get another nano ready for their team, trying to heal up, do whatever damage they can, as they just lost their Mercy as well, trying to heal up Starry Night, who is still holding on to a Primal Rage of their own. Now the nano coming out here onto Ember as they dive up on that high ground. Pulse Bomb stick there on the Starry Night will take them out there with some help from basically everyone there on GP, and GP using a lot of their ults there, however still holding on this duplicate and rally.
They got good ultimates to come back with, and Shibuya has really nothing to answer other than this Primal Rage, which really only served to stall it out. And Galactic with the late pick there onto Blue the color, it's going to make it really hard now for Shibuya to get back in. But Shibuya with a great pick on the Carnage now, no tracers for either team. And we see the grenade get caught onto Soapy. Soapy gets taken down again. What a great play there from the Law. The dueling Ana copies, which I have never seen that before.
It's a very interesting copy to do because you're really hoping to try to get a pulse bomb, a nano up pretty fast, as the pulse bomb there from Blue color does land onto Clip. The Law falls as well, but Ember trying to keep this fight alive right now because you see how close this cart is, and Syndicates right now playing a little bit dangerously, trying to jump away from the cart. Ember now trying to focus in there on Soapy, but Soapy able to get pocketed there by that Mercy here for the moment. Primal Rage though coming out from Ember as they feel like they can potentially win this team fight, but they get slept, woken back up again. The Primal Rage doesn't find anyone, does get them some more cart push right now, but GP is back in full force right now. Still no one fallen just yet, but Ember now diving back into that backline as Dawn of Dreams does use the Valkyrie to try to support everyone here for Shibuya.
We see the Law and Soapy getting into it, and Soapy gonna win that big duel win there. We do see a healer now down, Cool Puppet taken down, and here goes Soapy now copying the Winston, a little bit more of a traditional approach there, going onto the Winston, trying to get that Primal Rage up, but they're not gonna quite be able to do it here. They will get the Ana down, so great play there from Soapy, really isolating out the backline and really enabling Shibuya to win this fight.
Yeah, absolutely right there.
Wow,
And look at the time bank. Not a lot of time left for GP right now. You might be seeing some swaps come out for them here and maybe just get back and touch this time. Carnage, though, does have a Pulse Bomb ready to go. Ember close to another Primal Rage. Goose very close to a nano here. Some ultimate winning team, some team fight winning ultimates here ready for GP. Same could be said, though, for Shibuya as well.
You know, here's Shibuya in good spot here with that nano. Could go on a Starry Night here and get Starry up to that Primal. Blue the color. Really, it's a battle of the pulse bombs here. Who's going to get value? Oh, the just miss from Blue the color. Ember is so low right there for Galactic. They're going to manage to stay up, and now a ton of ultimates in hand for Galactic as they're going to push back here. But we do see Goose take it down with the nano boost in hand. Dexatron, that's huge.
That's huge, but there are 3 Winstons on the field at one point there. Ember
Oh,
now
no,
Carnage! Carnage! No, you were knocked off the map, not able to blink up in time. Now it's all on the back of the Law, but you fight the Law and you win that time. Blue the color, and Syndicates here gonna be able to stop GP before they get to point B.
You know, GP for a bit there looked really, really strong. I was super impressed with what we saw from GP in general on that. They were really looking good. Then all of a sudden, once they got to that point here on the map, Shibuya just completely clamped down on them. And honestly, a huge part of that is the rest on Soapy. Soapy popped off multiple times. Sure, yeah, they messed up with one of the copies. They copied an Ana. That definitely wasn't the intention, you gotta figure. But hey, it didn't matter. They picked up a 4K in a critical fight here with only about 30 seconds left on the clock. Managed to isolate out that backline. Huge play right there. And then Starry Night in the last fight. Just absolutely dominant there for Shibuya Syndicates. And now Shibuya in prime position right now to bring this thing to 2-1 and move this thing to match point.
Yeah, absolutely, and you highlighted the player there that I want to talk about, Soapy. Like I said, going into this map, I wanted to see a little bit more out of them. They have shown us some stuff throughout this series so far, but so far, in my opinion, Dorado has been their best map, and this Echo for them has been incredible. But look at what GP is coming out with here. They want to try to force what worked on King's Row for them.
Absolutely there. I mean, they really wanted to force. They really want to force that here, and it's hard to blame them. It worked so well, but at the same time, I don't necessarily think that's going to pan out. Sure, it might stall for maybe a little bit here, but now it's already been sniffed out by Shibuya, and now Shibuya is just going to keep distance. You know, they're going to kite this brawl out, not get close, not let them push in on them. And now if you're Galactic, this is kind of the desperation play you use in overtime situations. I don't like it right here. So I just feel like it's too easily exploited. Sure, they might lose 30 seconds off this clock, but I just have to question what they're doing here. This feels desperate, and I don't necessarily like it from Galactic here. I think Galactic's better off just playing them straight up.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, taking whatever time you can off that time bank is what they're looking for. But you look at Soapy right now, already built up a duplicate right now, and you definitely think they're looking for maybe that Reinhardt, and that's exactly who they go after.
Oh, they couldn't get it. Oh, no.
Melted down there. Carnage able to kind of keep their team alive there. Ember taking care of Dawn of Dreams there as well. And even with losing your Brigida there for GP, you can kind of reset now.
They can reset a little, but they're not going to have their GP. They're not going to have the Brigida for this next fight. So far, so good. This has worked out about as well as you could hope for GP. They turned on that copy really quickly, and honestly, that was big. If that copy got to pop off, and that's not a great pulse bomb, it's only going to find the immortality field. And right now, Shibuya, they got to settle down and just got to get control here. And the Brigida is now back. It's 5v5 again.
Primal Rage, but immediately gets countered out there by a Shatter. However, Ember was anti there. No heal coming out from them. Look,
that is an unsafe room. Do not. That is not a safe place to be.
Do not enter the kitchen right now, because Starry Night is cooking up something, and it's Penguin.
Who put the gorilla in the room? You do not put the angry gorilla in a room with you. It will end badly. That's exactly what happened for Galactic. They got caught with their pants down and just with an angry monkey beating the crap out of them. And, well, for Starry Night, that's about the dream scenario right there for the Primal.
Absolutely right there, but you're gonna see Galactic Penguins come back out and try to fight this again. Another duplicate coming out here from Sophie. They target Ember again. However, the law swapping over to a Torbjorn of all characters here is actually really interesting. However, we do see Goosefon 1. Trades going back and forth right now. Dawn of Dreams able to get Starry Night back into this one, but the kills all going the way of GP here at the moment. That's exactly what they wanted after that rough team fight in a small room.
You know, I will say, I did criticize the move initially, but it worked out. They got 2 minutes off the clock, and that's like the dream scenario for that, is you take at least a minute and a half off the clock, then you've succeeded. And for GP now, they're in a really good spot and a tough point to take. For Shibuya, they don't really have any ultimates right now, so they're going to have a hard time pushing into this.
Yeah, and right now GP building up their ultimates as well. Really no ultimates ready for either side right now, other than blue, the color right here, having a pulse bomb. It needs to be huge. Ember taking a quick nap here for the moment, but is eventually woken back up. And still, blue, the color, trying to find that backline, that Lucio, that Baptiste, not going to be able to find anyone again with their pulse bomb.
And they're going to have a hard time getting in for the rest of this match here, or the rest of this map here with that Torbjorn there. But now we do see the nano boost onto Starry Night, who goes deep there, but is not able to finish any targets off. And now Galactic with a push back, and look at all the low health bars for Shibuya. And that's just a great play there from Galactic, absorbing that dive and counter pushing back. That's exactly what you want to do. It paid off in a big way. And now if you're Shibuya, you're in big trouble. You only got a primal, and I guess you're building up a copy here, and you're doing that all into a sound barrier and very soon a molten core. This is potentially going to work out for Galactic.
Let's not curse them just yet. The duplication here comes on to the Reaper right now. They're looking to find anything. The beat coming out here from Glimp's going to try to keep everyone alive here right now, as Sophie looking for that Death Blossom of their own. It's in a very dangerous spot right now. They have it ready to go. They pop it. They're able to find one, and that's going to be all they find there, but it might be what they need. The Molten Core, though, coming out from the wall, will be able to find one. Ember finds one before falling. However, Dawn of Dreams able to find a res there to get their Ana back in here. Now, the Death Blossom coming out from Carnage finds 3 and ends this round.
What an insane play right there. Soapy did a great job there on the Reaper, putting in the pressure, but huge credit to Ember from the Galactic Penguins. They managed to keep their team alive through that incredible burst of rush damage from Shibuya there with the Winston, with the Death Blossom there from the Echo. That's so much damage coming in all at once. And Ember pulled back, peeled for the team, popped their shield up, and managed to give Galactic exactly what they needed to finish that off. And Galactic's going to walk away with the point there. I know scores say different right now, but they're going to say the correct score in just a second, I'm sure. Galactic with another map take here. And now Shibuya facing a similar situation. They just lost 2-1, and now they're down 2-1 again. So this kind of feel too familiar as they head into control. But that was incredible, and honestly, huge credit to whoever is the shot caller for Galactic. Being able to call how they kite out and absorb those dives has been instrumental in their team success so far here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they forced Brawl. Remember, that was the comp that came out with on defensive one you did not necessarily like, but it found a lot of success on King's Row, and it did exactly what it needed to do. Took off a lot of time in the early part of the round. Yeah, they all ended up dying to a very angry monkey in the end, as we see it right here, just kind of swinging around in a small room. It's yeah, I mean, at that point, it actually is just comedy right there. But
it really was
able to come back, kind of regroup. Like I said, they took off a lot of time. That was the main. And that duplicate there from Soapy needed to be one kill there, in my opinion, to keep that round alive for the Shibuya Syndicates. But in the end, it was a huge Death Blossom from Carnage again, finding 3. However, I think it was the Syndicates not touching the cart there at the end.
Well, they all died. I mean, they all died. Everybody was dead except for one, and they were off in Narnia. So, I mean, there's just not much they could do. It was a great play there from Carnage. And again, that ebb and flow of rush of those kind of compositions, you have to be able to play your advantages, use those go triggers to your advantage and how you play the game. And that's what we kind of saw there from Galactic Penguins. They recognized that they had a window of opportunity, and rather than just kind of sit on it and maybe wait for them to make a mistake, they just went for it. And that's what you got to do with that composition. You got to identify those triggers and you got to go. And to Galactic's credit, it worked, and they did a great job with it. They identified what was needed to win that fight, and they went with it, and they immediately knew, we got this. Press Q, now we win. And boom, they did it. They won. And it was a fight they probably shouldn't have won. If I'm speaking honestly, I just don't think they should have won that, because I think Shibuya was in a great spot to take that there. Soapy played their ultimate great. It really was a fantastic push from Shibuya to even get that thing going through Torbjorn ult as well. It's a tough situation for them, but they just didn't have quite enough to push through because of how well Galactic handled that. So gotta give credit to Galactic. They're playing just in a macro sense much better, especially since the start of the night when they were really struggling with their ult economy. This is a new Galactic compared to what I saw in map 1, and they look great right now, and I think they're firmly in control here as they head to match point.
Yeah, match point. We might be heading, like you said, we might be heading to our final map of the night here. And Yeti, another staple here of Trank. We're heading to Lijiang Tower.
Ah, yes, Lijiang Tower. Going over to our control map, Lijiang Tower here for this one. And, you know, honestly, I can't necessarily say I'm surprised. Is Shibuya in the lead? Should be Galactic in the lead. Penguins won the last map. I think there might be a Yep, just a little production. Whoops, there. That's okay. It's preseason for us too, guys. Just, hey, chat, be quiet. We're good, okay? We're good. Yeah, we got this. This is just preseason, guys. Relax. So there we go. Hey, look, that's correct. Galactic up 2-1 here, going to Lijiang. So this is the Shibuya Syndicate's pick. Shibuya's picked the last 2 maps. Dorado looked really good for them. I thought they were going to win Dorado. not so much. Now they have another pick here going to Lijiang. So this is very much in the Shibuya Syndicate's favor. Now Shibuya, again, they did play in control against Galactic in the first round. I'm not sure who came out on top of that. I didn't get to see the replay code, so I'm not sure who came out on top. But this is a situation where Shibuya probably feels a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the varying different play styles you can play on every point on Lijiang Tower. Yeah, GP can force brawl every time, like they have been basically doing since King's Row, especially Dorado defense. I feel like they really forced a brawl there, and it worked out for them. But I feel like just the amount of different comps you can see and the amount of different comps we kind of have seen out of Shibuya so far tonight kind of does, make Lijiang Tower probably lean towards them or lean towards their favor.
Yeah, but I gotta say, GPs look really good right now. I feel like Ember has kind of established themselves as the alpha right now in this lobby, and I've been really impressed with that. I'm not sure who's doing the shot calling for Galactic and who's kind of directing the team, directing their macro sense and kind of their engagement timings and whatnot. But it just seems like that right now Galactic is just in such control of these kind of maps, and I think for Shibuya, I'm a little bit worried right now. I need to see Starry step up, and I want to see that Ramatra again, because I feel like when they're playing Ramatra, they're at their best, and I just haven't seen that recently. And I know Dorado, you can't really play Ramatra. I get it. I get it. Not really upset about that. But now is the time to lock in the Ramatra and just absolutely take back over the map again, like you did in map 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw Ramatra a little bit on King's Road. Didn't really work out for them there, but that was because GP had a good counter to them there. New Queen Street, they never really had that counter. They played Zarya the entire time, which I think even caught kind of me and you off guard. Zarya, still kind of a good tank, but not necessarily in the meta right now, and basically any meta here. So GP was definitely trying to force something there, and it looked good at the start, but at the end, they eventually did swap off of it there to a Ramatra of their own.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what exactly to expect going into this one here as we get into the map here. And again, it can depend on which point you start off on. It looks like we're starting off on Night Market here, which tends to be a bit more brawly. Galactic going to come out with the Orisa, which now Dex, I don't know how much you're paying attention to kind of the leaks that come out from Overwatch League right now for this patch. But a lot of the belief right now is that, especially with how good Ilari is, who will be in Trank here very soon, we've seen Galactic kind of go towards that Orisa, and Orisa's been very favorable in that matchup with the Ilari in play. And here goes Symmetras, and here we go, Dex.
It's a Symmetra's TP right to point for the Law, winning out here early with a grenade kill there. Onto the Lucio, down goes the other Symmetra there for the Syndicates, and GP getting the start they absolutely wanted here. Cool Puppet, the only one to escape here at the moment for the Syndicates.
Yeah, Cool Puppet there managed to get out, but it just did not matter there for Galactic. Penguins a strong point A, and they have the Bastion. It's really a Bastion versus Mei here, and sure, Mei is a lot of util, that's fine and dandy, but Bastion is so strong with this recent patch. So powerful. Really, really tough to deal with. And honestly, I love the Bastion in this composition here, and it's gonna be really tough for Galactic to put, or sorry, for Shibuya to push through.
Yeah, because Shibuya needs to get to that backline where the Law is kind of sitting up right now on that Bastion. They're not going to be frontline. You immediately see the TP come through, and now it's Ember trying to force off some members of the Syndicate. They're not going to be able to. The Law trying to melt down anyone they can see, but they do not see anyone. And the Syndicates, though, finding a couple kills, make it 2. But Ember comes right back with 2 kills of their own, knocking 2 members of Shibuya off the map.
That's huge from Ember there. Again, they use the spin there on the Lance, and that's going to be enough to hold off the Reinhardt for just a second. And now for Galactic, they're back in control. Amplification Matrix did get used by Cool Puppet, perhaps a fool's errand though. And right now for Galactic, you're looking at, 90%, or sorry, you're looking at, beg my pardon there, you're looking at 60%. You're basically in control going to last fight here.
Yeah, and I mean, Shibuya came back in that last team fight, found 2 quick kills, and I kind of thought, okay, this is their start. This is exactly what they needed, but they did not get rid of Ember, and Ember made them pay, taking care of both their DPS. And Shibuya making a swap as well, going over to an Orisa as well. But you look at GP, 5 ultimates on the board. The B coming out here from Shibuya. The Terror Surge coming out from Ember will not find anyone. Look at all the ultimates coming out here. I believe there's about 6, 7 ultimates. The Blizzard coming out here from Shibuya does
big
capture
blizzard.
a lot. It's exactly the blizzard they needed because it does make sure that they cap the point before GP does get up to 99%.
They absolutely needed that blizzard there. Blew the color. Did pop off when they needed the most there, and that is a Shibuya point take. Now they gotta take the rest of the fights here. Now for Galactic, they again, I don't know, they have the Bastion ult here. This could be good. Oh, the May wall kind of disrupts that a little bit, but here comes the damage output now from Carnage. But Carnage is gonna be taken down, but we already see Starry Night taken down too. This looks like another point take here for Galactic.
Yeah, and especially getting rid of Starry Night early was exactly what the GP wanted to do there, because essentially losing that Orisa, you don't have a lot of pressure you can apply. And now, oh,
bye-bye.
The Javelin coming out there from Ember onto Blue the Color will end this round in a dominant fashion from GP. However, Shibuya did show some signs of life there.
They did at the end, but GP just had the compositional difference. The big thing right now is that Bastion. Bastion is so strong right now. The last patch basically buffed every single aspect of Bastion. And I feel like just running the Bastion was just too much. It was too overwhelming right there. As we see Ember on this Orisa just kind of being really just kind of a point authority there for Galactic Penguins. And that's such a big part of what a Orisa can do. They can just kind of bully people. They're not so much a brawl as they just are just kind of a great space holder. But they hold space in a different way. The way they used to hold it was just kind of being a beefcake holding a corner. Now they're a beefcake holding in your face. And that's just kind of the way that she seems to be working right now. Now Shibuya going to come out on the brawl with a Bastion of their own. Galactic bringing out the Roadhog and the Pharmacy, and this is my ranked games.
I was gonna say, when will you notice it? But you noticed it there. Ember immediately gets melted down after hooking Ghost there.
Ooh,
Not the thing you want to do. Carnage will find one though. And Ember immediately revs back up into this one as you see the javelins coming out there from Starry Night, trying to get anyone off the point. Those Sim Turrets putting in a lot of damage right now. But even after all the good start there from Shibuya, Galactic Penguins able to kind of clean everything up and take point first off the back of some great Carnage kills.
Yeah, Carnage just kind of set that thing up. One in the back line completely unchecked and untouched by Shibuya there. And now we see Shibuya making a swap over to the Pharmacy. They're getting off of this Bastion. I don't necessarily care for that. Bastion is a really good counter right now to Pharah. And, you know, we see Shibuya sticking with this. They're doing the Pharmacy with the Symmetra, and there's just a compositional problem here for Shibuya. It's a confused comp, and I don't love it for them, but we do see Ghost picking up the kill on the Carnage. Now the Law answers back. The Law finding a couple as the Pharahs right next to each other, not quite killing each other. Direct in there for, Direct coming in there for the Law. It's just again, compositional confusion right there for Shibuya, and they paid the price for it.
Yeah, and it really, like you said, paying the price for it right now, and Ghost is definitely feeling the most of it right now. They lose their Mercy. They eventually end up losing to the Law. And, you know, you look at it right now, 50% for GP. Shibuya needs to have something go their way right now, and they do see the errors of their ways. You immediately see Blue the Color here go over to the Sojourn, and that has been a character they have shown us a lot tonight when they have played, and they have played it really well.
Shibuya sticking with this Orisa for now. They kind of have to, but we're looking also picture-in-picture at the Law with that Barrage. Going to be a big ultimate here. Can they take advantage of this positioning, of this composition here for Shibuya as they push in on the point here? We see them pushing in. Popping the ultimate right now is Starry Night, trying to find a pick, but they don't. They pop it too late. And look at the kill feed, Dex.
It's going the way of Shibuya. This is exactly what they needed here. What a play. Now they just finally able to take the point. 91% given over to GP though this time. Shibuya though, needs to try to win some team fights here.
Yeah, that was a big pop-off play there from Blue the Color to kind of seal that one for Shibuya. They were down in that fight and down pretty bad, but Shibuya was able to get in and stay into this thing thanks to the play for Blue the Color. Galactic right now is really in control. They got ultimates going in. Tough spot right now for Shibuya.
Now, just finding an early pick might be what they needed. They did find Boo there, but they immediately get revs back up. The Mirage coming out will not find anyone there. That could have been a great ultimate, but they do not find anything of it. Whoever Starry Night able to keep the kills coming. Glimpse popping a Valkyrie of their own here to try to keep everyone supported. The Law, though, will eventually lose the Pharaoh duel there, and everything still going the way Shibuya wanted to. Ghost picking up kill after kill. Now Blue the Color will find that final one there, and now they're just trying to get rid of the one last remaining straggler for GP on point, and they're going to be able to.
Blue the Color right now, a difference maker in this one. Ghost did a great job there on the Pharaoh, winning the duels they needed to. Blue the Color continues to be dominant here on this Sojourn. They have an overclock in hand. That ultimate is going to be key here. Can they slow down Galactics right now as they push in with this Wrecking Ball now?
Yeah, GP making some more swaps here.
Oh,
no! The boop. It's a huge boop coming out from the Law. That may be the thing they were looking for. And they also popped their overclock to start that off. The Law picking up some kills now. This is not what you want to see if you're on the Shibuya Syndicates or a fan. They're losing members by the second now. Everyone down. GP gonna take the point back. And does the Syndicates have enough time to get back?
They will have enough time to touch. It's going to be a sloppy touch, though. The Curie is going to go down. And Ember keeping up the aggression here on the wrecking. Oh, no, no, no. That's it.
No.
It's over, Dex.
That will be it. GP picking up right where they left off at the end of Season 10 by winning the Season 11 preseason grand finals.
The king stays king in Galactic Penguins as they'll take the first of our preseason matchups this week. Fantastic work there from Galactic, winning this one and taking the preseason crown. Tough first map, but they come back and they dominate here, and it was a fantastic one indeed. So great job. Congratulations in order, of course, to Shibuya for making the run they did out of lower bracket to get to where they did. But it's going to be Galactic Penguins reigning supreme here in the preseason finals.
Yeah, absolutely. You can give a lot of credit to Shibuya, like you said, coming down from the losers bracket. They looked very great on the first map. They had their moments on the second. They had their moments on Kings Row. Dorado, again, a map that you thought they would have and could have probably won, probably after that defensive holdover 4.2, but just GP coming out there and doing GP things, a whole new roster, and they're still picking up right where they left off at the end of Season 10.
Yeah, they looked fantastic here tonight. There's no doubt about it. Really impressive play all around. Ember stepping up in a big way as the night went on. Definitely taking control. I mean, tank play tends to be so critical in these organized team environments, and Ember was just dominant throughout the night tonight.
Yeah, we're seeing some replays now here from the night, and you know, we saw a great play there from GP, but that was probably one of the problems they had on their first map. They were using 3 ultimates. Yeah, it was to win a team fight, but that was probably their biggest mistake there. And their biggest mistake there in that first map was using so many ultimates, and they really fixed that as the series went on, using ultimates smartly, sparingly to a point there, using them kind of rotating, and it really ended up working out for them and being the difference in my opinion here.
Absolutely. It was a real difference maker throughout the night. The compositional changes, the adjustments they made to get to where they did, and step up here as the night progressed here with their kind of discipline in their team and their overall team macro play. We saw a team on map 1 who looked disjointed, popping way too many ultimates to win when they need to a team that was properly absorbing dives and handling ultimates and pushing back on ultimates being used by Shibuya. They did an incredible job throughout the night winning that, and all the credit is in order to Galactic for making the adjustments they need. Great work from coaching to be able to get them in there. Shout out to Neptune, the coach for Galactic, had to be a big force in trying to get that team organized throughout the night. And great work, Galactic, and congratulations once again.
Yeah, I mean, give Galactic all the praises here. They're champions again here in the preseason. But now, next week, regular season starts here for the Harmony Tier. Galactic has a chip on their shoulder now. Season 10 Grand Champions, Season 11 Preseason Champions. I feel like that puts a big target on their back. But Shibuya Syndicates being able to make it this far, one of the new teams here for Trank, I feel like they are going to be a really good team, a very scary team in the upcoming season.
No question about it. Very exciting. We have three more awesome preseason finals coming up this week. Tomorrow is the Transcendence Tier preseason finals. It's going to be Empire taking on Krakens, two new teams, new blood here in Tranquility, taking each other on for the Transcendence Tier championship in the preseason. Wednesday, we have Volcanic awaiting the winner of the lower finals between Chicago Deep Dish and Reborn Racers. And then Thursday, we have the Discord Tier preseason finals as well. That's going to be Galactic Gibbons, the other team in the Galactic group, who would be taking on Geometric, who's moved up to the Discord tier this season. So it'll be exciting to see who comes out on top between two familiar names.
Absolutely, a lot more action to come here this week in Tranquility. So make sure to be sure to follow us here on Twitch as well as on Twitter, as we will let you guys know when we go live there. And join the Discord as well. There will be a ping thrown there every time we go live as well. Yeti, I want to give a quick shout out to you. I want to give a quick shout out to the absolute unit we had as a production crew here tonight. And when I say unit, I mean we had a unit here tonight. CBF being our producer here tonight. That was followed up by Hippy, Knock on Wood, Little Joe, Rhino, and Salty, all doing so much here tonight. Like I said, a unit on the prod crew here tonight. And Yeti, as always, prod crew is always the best crew, isn't it?
They are just the best. They're the most handsome, the best looking. They wear the best clothes. They hang out the freshest clothes. They hang out with the hottest dudes. It's just saying, they're just the best. They're just the best.
All right, but that will do it for us here tonight at Tranquility. Remember, tomorrow there is another preseason grand final. But Yeti, thank you so much. I've been Dexatron. That has been Yeti. I hope you all have a great night and see you next time.
Chat to them. Like